Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and I am here today to introduce to you an upcoming series on my channel working with the Wild Wisdom book by Maya Toll, illustrated by Kate O'Hara. I was in an indigo recently on a bad day and I found this book. And I was curious because it's Maya Toll and I love her work. I adore her work. And so I decided to pick up the book and page through it. And I saw pretty quickly that it's entirely about working with the seasons. It starts in late autumn and you travel through round and round the seasons. Late autumn, early winter, late winter, early spring, late spring, early summer, late summer, early autumn. And of course, there are the equinoxes and solstices in between. And this book is a detailed journey of getting in touch with nature and rooting yourself into the world and attuning yourself to the rhythms. Living in connection with and in embodiment with and in tandem with the earth we live on. Like it says here. Just this last little bit. As you journey through the seasons, notice nature's ease with change. Pay attention to the way that the trees let go of their leaves in autumn and the rich creativity that comes in the wake of winter. See how it feels to commune with the earth's creatures and connect with a sense of being a part of Gaia's patterns. What would happen if you gifted yourself a year to willingly suspend your current belief system and let a new one take root? Can you imagine yourself being more authentic? More in touch with your inner wisdom, more connected and aligned? What can change in a year? You. Signed, Maya. And there's a little monarch. And I was hooked. So I want to show you what this book is like and tell you what I'm planning for this series. Because I'm going to be doing a public series that's going to be rolling out in the late fall, late autumn, because that's when it starts. So it talks about, in the beginning pages, it talks about, there's quite a nice introduction. And a cool thing is, if you look here on the side, you can see very easily that this book is broken into colored sections. This first section here is late autumn because that's when it starts. It starts with November, or it starts with Samhain. So the first section here starts with late autumn, and then here with the blue we have winter, spring here with the green, and summer here with these beautiful reds. And then this last bit is the remainder of autumn. And a really cool part is this book does come with cards. Just like her illustrated bestiary, herbiary, and crystallary, the initial editions where you just get the book. In the back, there's cards. We'll talk about those more as we go along, so I'm just going to put those aside. But you can see it very easily, and there's very clear dividers that we'll see as well. So it talks about the shape of the year and how the year runs from the late autumn. Like this picture that we saw. Where was it? Oh, silly. Like this picture here we saw in the table of contents. It talks about getting a sense of the sacred. And then it talks about a toolkit. And it's got a bunch of exercises in it. One, and I won't go into super details, but there's practice 1, invite your fear to tea. Love that idea. Practice 2, create a symbol dictionary. Really love that idea. Practice 3, step into the journey. Practice 4, keep an altar. A lot of us already do that. Practice 5, compost what you don't need. Love that as well. Practice 6, work with your wild wisdom cards. So it does have, because it comes with some cards, it does have some ideas of like spreads, how you can do a 1-card draw, a 2-card crossing, 2 cards waxing and waning. Oh, I need to highlight this. At the time I'm filming this, yeah, it's fine. At the time I'm filming this, I don't know when I'll be putting it up. I had just gotten my past life reading from Lisa, and the waning moon, working with the waning moon came up. So this is really good. And then there is more in the very, very back. There is a big spread here. There's a big spread here in the very back, and there is a thank you page and a page on the energy centers in the body, also known as chakras, which come into play throughout the book. So it's got all these exercises to build you like a toolkit of being able to work with and in tune with nature, right? And of course you can do your own. Invite your fear to tea, though, and look at it. Where's that picture? Look at that picture. Come on. Yes, please. I almost want to like cut the illustrations out and stick them places. Anyways, so that's the intro, and then we get into the meat and potatoes of the book. We get into the hearty, the stuff that keeps it going. And this is the almanac. So let me just read to you what this part says. The almanac. It's time to begin. Open the book to whatever season you are currently in. If you live in a place that does not have the distinct seasons, choose the season that corresponds with your current month and hemisphere using the guide on page 13. And she does, like I said, consider the hemispheres in that breakdown. Use the year ahead to map the natural world around you and its ever-changing phases. Bracket, this is especially important thing to do if you live in a place that doesn't have seasons that perfectly align with those in this book. Step into a deep relationship with the land you are on, understanding its flows and cycles, so that you feel part of the great Gaia nesting doll, kin again to the rocks and the trees and the wind. Like, I'm hooked. I'm fucking in. I'm so in. And I was gonna start this where I am now, but I keep putting it off, and I think I just need to journey through this book from the beginning. So I'm gonna start this with the book and Samhain, but we'll get back to that. So the way the book breaks down is like this. You have a title page, and the title page always has like a poem, and it says the northern hemisphere when that is, and the southern hemisphere when it is. So late autumn, the northern hemisphere, it's November to winter solstice. Then you go into it and you have the element. For example, the late autumn is water into earth. And it talks about that. It gives you some seasonal practices. Then you have the energy center for that season. It talks about that. Again, gives you some seasonal practices. And then it has a plant medicine, a animal medicine, and a crystal medicine for each season. And then it shows us the cards. So the way the cards work is each season, autumn, spring, summer, winter, not in that order, but each season has 7 cards in it. 1 for the seasonal equinox or solstice, 3 cards for the early part of that season, and 3 cards for the late part of that season, which I love how round it is. So because this book starts in late autumn, we're starting with the season. And the idea of the cards is the cards represent seasonal symbols, right? And this is where it starts to get really fucking cool. So it talks about the seasonal symbol. So basically this is like the information about the card if you pull and work with the card. So we have the seasonal symbols of the phoenix, the descent, the void. And then we come to the part where we get to winter. So the switch of the seasons, which is where we start to see really, really how cool it is. So autumn ends up being kind of like prep work. Late autumn ends up being kind of like prep work in this. You're preparing yourself for this big journey that you're about to take. So we just looked at those. Winter, the moon. Look at that card. Is that not stunning? And then so here, let me just see what these say. Winter solstice, pause here. You are deep in the heart of the darkest nights. The world is hushed. The trees are dwelling in their roots, and the earth's small creatures have gone to ground. Turn inward and listen to the stories of your deepest self. It shows the card for the winter solstice, and this is where it gets really, really, really cool. It talks about the moon, tiny bit here, and then here it says, write a love letter to yourself. Grab a blanket and some paper. Use this moment, whether it is the actual winter solstice or a personal winter solstice, to write a love letter to your own heart. Love yourself in your totality. Find sweetness in idiosyncrasies and charm in your own foibles. How many ways are there to love yourself? When you are done, tuck your love letter into the pocket on the next page. Reread it when you find yourself on this page. Let your own words fill the empty spaces, and then write to yourself anew. So, quickly, I do want to mention, writing a love letter to yourself is not going to be an easy practice for a lot of people, and I'm one of them. So, I think what the difficulty we run into is a lot of people, including myself, think that I think a lot of people are equating liking and loving, right? Like, I don't like every single thing about my kid. I still love him unconditionally. My love for him is not based on how much I like all the facets of his personality or all the ways he does things or whatever. And I think, at least I know I have trouble with, I believe sometimes that I forget that I'm allowed to love myself that way too. I don't have to think I'm perfect to love myself. I don't have to like everything about my personality or like everything about my body. Love is ultimately about acceptance. It's about saying, I see you. I see that this is who you are and where you are, and I love you anyways. And it's okay that this is who you are and where you are. And so I think writing a love letter to myself can focus on that, not in the way of like, I don't have to think I'm perfect to write a love letter to myself. But so I just wanted to address that because that could be very, very hard. And the idea is you write the love letter and then you put it here in this big, beautiful pocket. Oh, sorry, my candle holder. Look at this. Is this not stunning? Oh my God. And you tuck it here and there it sits. And then a year from now, you read it. And then you write a new one if you decide to continue. And so it continues on. Early winter, the same format, poem, the elements and some practices, the energy center and some practices, plant medicine, animal medicine, crystal medicine, and then the cards, the seasonal symbols, the womb, the dreaming, the hearth. Come back to center. Late winter, we've got the poetry bit. It's like a bit of a story. The elements, practices for it. The energy center, ooh, fascinating. Love, along with some exercises. The plant medicine, the animal medicine, the crystal medicine. And then the cards for the symbols. And so the whole thing goes. spring equinox. For the spring, you're not writing a love letter to yourself. You're writing down your own dreams. So it's extremely tuned into nature and where the seasons are at the entire time. The wind, the door, the Fool. Love this card so much. Late spring, the elements. Look at this. Energy center, plant medicine, animal, crystal, the seasonal symbols, the lodestone, the staircase. Oh, I love this too. The alchemist. Yes. For the summer solstice, we're asked to write ourselves a victory letter to put in this beautiful horsey pocket. I don't know. There, just in case you couldn't quickly see the pockets. The whole book is just stunningly beautiful. The element, energy center, plant medicine, animal, crystal. Then the seasonal symbols, we have the star, the council, the warrior. Late summer, fire into water, the energy center, plant, animal, and it's an elephant, and crystal. Seasonal symbols are the harvest, the witch. Sound off in the comments if you love this picture. The traveler. Oh, God. I tell you, I have trouble in the heat, but late summer into autumn is like my favorite time of year. Autumn equinox, the withdrawing. So this is the equinox parts. Those are a card too. So this is the card for the summer solstice. This is the card for the autumn equinox, and it's the withdrawing. So this time we're writing a list what to let go of. And that's what we're putting in here, in this pocket. The element of water. And lots of things. Sacral center. Ooh, look at that image. Oh. Plant medicine, animal medicine, crystal. The seasonal symbols, we have the mermaid. Find your intuitive depth. The river, flow with fate. Seasonal symbol, the elders, embrace endings. And then you come to the end. Begin again. You've come to the end and to the next beginning. We have a tendency, we humans, to want to hair off and discover something new, to find the next thing that will capture our attention. But what if you stay right here and begin again? What if you spend another year, and another, and another, deepening into the patterns and metaphors of the natural world? What might you create if you harness the rise and fall of the seasonal energies to your own dreams and desires? What might you discover if you choose to let time travel in a circle instead of a line? I was hooked, and this is the flap that the cards came in. So I was thinking to myself, I wanted to start it in early, I wanted to start it now, but then I realized that I'm just not likely to, and I think I really want to start it with the beginning of the book. I want to start from the beginning. So I thought it would be really, really fun to do a series here on YouTube with you. And so come late autumn, we're going to be beginning Sorry, I had to take a minute to find my words. Come late autumn, I'm going to begin releasing a series called Walk in Wild Wisdom, in which I share with you my journey through this book. I'm going to do the letters, and that's probably what I'm going to show, along with some work with the cards. I don't know exactly how I'm going to work with the cards. And then for my patrons, that's the beginning of the deck. For my patrons and or my YouTube members, depending on what time you're seeing this video, I'm filming it at a time where I haven't hit the threshold. So subscribe if you haven't already, by the way. But once I have YouTube membership unlocked, I'm going to be transitioning, trying to get my patrons to transition over to YouTube, because I think that'll be easier for me overall. And so once that happens, I'm going to be doing this, the Walk in Wild Wisdom, as like a book club journey kind of thing with my patrons, with my YouTube members, where I'm thinking of actually taking videos of going for walks and finding seasonal symbols and just other things. The idea is all very new in my head, but I got super excited, and so I wanted to sit down and share this treasure of a book with you. I am keeping my cards in a little, very terrible bag because it's what I have right now. So if you might be interested in joining us for that, for the like book club workbook kind of thing, then my patron is listed in the description box as always. If you're seeing this at the time when YouTube membership is unlocked, you can click that join button. I've heard it works best on computers as opposed to on laptop, or as opposed to on devices. But that is what I'm going to be doing. So I wanted to spend some time and introduce you to this just gloriously beautiful treasure of a book. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So check that out. I'll link this on Amazon in the description. It's not an affiliate link. I don't have affiliate links yet or anything. So, but it is linked there. I'll link that for you. And yeah, that is where I'm going to leave you. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments down below, are you interested in taking this adventure? Do you have this? Have you already started working with this? This came out last year. It's a very, very new thing. Let me know. I'd love to chat about it in the comments. As I said, you can find my patron and ways to sign up, so that way you can join me on a more personalized, more in-depth journey through this come when it's time to start. You can find those links in the description box, along with my website, where I offer a bunch of readings and services and such. My voice is very rough, so I'm wrapping this up soon. But otherwise, and hit the bell notification. But otherwise, I just wanted to say thank you very much for joining me in this video. And I hope I'll see you soon for when we begin to walk in wild wisdom. Lots of love. Bye.